Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with Anthony. Now pronounce your surname for me because I've heard it pronounced several different ways.
Yeah, it's like if you really, really want to pronounce it the Turkish way, it's Yigit, but Yigit is enough.
Tell me the Turkish way again.
Yigit. It's
Yigit.
yeah, you don't say the G.
I'm going to try.
It's like a soft G, so it's like Yigit. Yeah.
Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with former world title challenger Anthony Yigit. Yeah, all right, I'm officially Turkish.
I mean, the problem is it doesn't go with my ring name because you can't say Anthony, can you dig it, Yigit. So Anthony dig it, Yigit is better.
Why don't you tell me that first? Okay, Anthony Yigit. Just want to talk to you. You're here. How have you ended up, I suppose is the biggest question. How have you ended up on a big bill at York Hall in London's Bethnal Green? How has that come from being a world title challenger against Ivan Baranchyk and all the other times we've seen you around the world? Why York Hall? Why now?
Well, I was, as I said in the press conference, I was living in London actually, training here, and I had mates fighting in York Hall, so I've been there and watched fights, and I was like, you know, I liked the atmosphere, I liked how everyone was supporting each other, like everyone was cheering, and I was like, man, this is like, I love this is where I want to fight, you know. It's not too big, but still, you know, the emotions are there, and that's what I'm after, you know, and I really liked that. So as soon as I heard they were gonna put up this show here, I called my promoter and I said, listen, you gotta put me on this show. I want to fight on this show.
When was this that you went and saw your mates there and you were impressed by the atmosphere?
It was in 2016 to 17, so it's very recently. And after that, I moved back to Sweden. Now I'm training in Sweden and in Spain.
How long were you based in London and what was the reason for it?
I was based here for like 1.5 years. Actually, the reason for it was I was training in Tenerife before, and then I was thinking to myself, oh, maybe I should move to the States and just see how stuff are there. And my manager, he told me, all right, come to London for a couple of days and we'll sort everything out. What happened was when I came to London, I fell in love with it, and I decided to stay here instead.
And where were you based and who were you training with at the time?
So I was training with CJ Hussein at St. Pancras Boxing Club. Yeah. So he trained the likes of John McDermott, Derek Chisora, these guys, and also more local fighters like Kian Thomas and Davis Pagan. So yeah, he has some professional fighters. He's also training amateurs. Very very good coach.
Why did you not stay permanently? Was it just a case of missing your family back home?
Well, yeah, a little bit. It's also the thing of I've moved around a lot, trying to find my place, kind of, And I just, even though I loved London and I felt like I was so welcome here, I just didn't feel like I got out the most of it in the ring, And I just felt like I needed to keep searching for that.
Well, how much do you know about Siar Ozgul, who you're facing on Friday night in this show? Have you seen much of his performances in the past?
Yeah, I actually saw him fighting live when I was in York Hall once. So I was like, oh, right, that's the guy I'm fighting now. Yeah, I remember him. And he's also a fellow Turk, like me. I'm hailing from Turkey. It's actually the first time two Turks fight each other ever in the professional ring. So that's like, we're making kind of history. Obviously, that's flying under the radar here in London, but it's
not anymore.
No, but that's kind of a big thing in Turkey, and hopefully, and I think the Turkish fans here in London also knows it. So I think it's going to be packed with Turkish fans that wants to come and see us fight.
Just tell us about a little bit about the experience of your first world title challenge, which was obviously part of the World Boxing Super Series tournament against Ivan Baranchyk. Since dethroned, although put in a great performance against Josh Taylor. You suffered a horrendous eye injury that forced you, in the end, to be pulled out against your wishes. You have proved your warrior's heart beyond doubt in that fight. But what was it like being in there, not being able to see and having such a grotesque injury against this guy who just kept coming forward? Try and describe that for us.
Well, the thing is that the eye was shut, but I didn't know how it looked. So I didn't think it was that bad. It didn't hurt. So it was just swollen, but it was swollen just on the right place for it to look really bad. Because 3 days after the fight, the swelling went away. So it really wasn't anything serious. But with that being said, fighting for the world title, trying to give in everything, trying to put it all out there. And actually, when my eye was getting shot, I wanted my coach to cut it like Mick did to Rocky. But he was like, bro, that's in the movies. We can't do that, And I was like, oh, all right, But I didn't know it was that dangerous. I mean, not dangerous, but I didn't know that it looked that bad. But it was just like that. It looked worse than it was. But with all that being said, you know, I fought for the world title. Didn't go my way. Went back to the drawing board. Been almost a year since. Fought 2 fights since then. I feel like I've developed. And yeah, it's gonna be nice to, you know, finally showcase that in your call. Actually, to be honest, I was happy to fight in New Orleans, but there's always been a dream for me to fight in your call, and it might be that I am a little bit more excited about that.
Where does this fight with Siar Ozgul and the York Hall appearance fit on your kind of journey back to world level? How far away are you, and where does this fit in?
I think this is more like me trying to present myself to the British audience, you know, and hopefully they'll like me. But not only the British audience, because ESPN is also showing the fight, so the American audience as well. So this is kind of my way of trying to bounce back into the world stage.